Hi, friend. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me, friend?
Yeah, hold on. I was all trying to set up because I almost forgot. I knew, but like I got caught up in doing a couple of things. So I'm coming to my car just so I don't lose service.
I know. I know.
Cause my house is kind of weird. The service in there, no.
I have to stay in one spot because the minute that I move, I start losing service. If I even sometimes I walk to go take my little dog outside, and
Yeah.
I start to lose service right away. I'm all right away.
All right. So like, is there anything I need to know, or it's just gonna be like talking or what?
No, yeah, we're just gonna be talking about county time and about about how we know each other and just stuff like that. Yeah.
So how have you been though?
I'm good, and you? How are you doing?
I just got off of the subs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I haven't done one in like I think it's going on like 3 months now.
Allah.
So that's just like something new that I've been doing, but
Well,
um
have
eh,
you been? How long did you take? Like, were you tapering, or how did you do
so
it?
so I started to let's see how I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna put this. So I started to I got on the shot, right?
Oh.
And then I was like, okay, with the shot, it'll like help like discipline me to like stop like the habit of putting it under your tongue and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need my keys. So I that kind of helped me. So I got on that, and then I did it for a couple months, and then I just said I'm gonna stop, and I did it. It's kind of weird. I was like, how did I do that?
That's good.
Because you know what, it's all in your mind, dude. Like my mind was like telling me that I couldn't do it, like I needed it. But guess what though, like for like the first 2 months, yeah, I was getting bad cravings, like wanting to do a pill, or not like go do something crazy or something, but like I was craving to like get a perk or something. It was kind of weird. But hey, watch, I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna run and get my keys. I don't want to take this with me because I lose freaking service every time.
Okay, okay, that's
But
fine.
give me 1 second if it
Okay,
goes on the
that's
table.
fine.
Ah. But I've been wanting, like, I've always wanted to become a counselor, and now that I'm like getting like cleaner and stuff, because like I had a little bit of guilt. I smoke still, but I don't know. I just kind of had a little thing in the back of my mind, like I'm not fully all there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Well,
doing good.
that's good. I'm so proud of you. Well, because like that's like such a long ways, right? Like you've gone from
I
being
still
like
can't believe it. My
a
babe
full
still can't
blown
believe it.
addict to like you're like nothing, like you don't
Yeah,
wake up and have to take nothing or have to depend on nothing. Or I feel like that's something too in your head, like something you have to kind of like not think of that. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not, I don't know. Yeah.
like
But
that mentality of like, it's the addict in us though. Like, cause I still feel like now, cause the it like blocks your opiate receptors, right? The Suboxone, that's what it does. So now that my receptors aren't being like blocked and stuff, it's weird to get used to, because like you know how long I was on them? Like I've been on them for like me and Jose have been together for 16 years now. We've been on them for like 13, maybe 14 years. So that's a long time.
That's a long time. And imagine, I bet you never thought you would ever not depend on those.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it's crazy.
It is. That's amazing. Well, I'm so proud of you. It gives everybody hope. No, just kidding.
No,
Well,
for
because
reals. I really want to help people because like I'm going through like probation and all those programs that they put you through, like drug court and all that. Like my counselors, they weren't even addicts, so they didn't even like they didn't understand like what we go through. So like I want to become like that's something I want to do
I
is
feel like
like help
that's
people.
something that you would be really good at. You should go just start going to college. You can go to college and get a degree or start working somewhere like at a rehab or something, and they can help you get the right training that you need to do stuff like that, because that's especially in Espanola, that's very well known. You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of
Yeah, we have so many people here that just need people like so like
I was
I'm like
wondering, like, about the hi, Katie, how are you? Oh, Katie, hold on. Let me send this link to Katie so that she can get on. Let me send it to you, Katie. I'm gonna put it in the drop it in the chat, okay?
I was all nervous because I didn't know if I was gonna know how to get on because I've never done this.
It's fine, friend. It's not. I'm all. It's not that difficult, but it is. No, just kidding. Well, because I
I'm
barely.
proud of you, girl. I've been watching you. I've been following you. I'm so proud of you. Like to
Oh,
see you
thank you,
doing all this
friend.
and stuff.
Well,
I'm really
because
proud of you. I get happy to like, especially see my friends and my people, like the ones that like I was, we were all destined for something awful.
well, I feel like we were born into the wrong families, friend. No, just kidding.
No,
Well,
for
because
reals,
we
yeah.
grew
Like,
up poor, like our parents were hustlers. My mom was a drug dealer, dude. My mom was picked up in one of the biggest raids they ever executed in northern New Mexico in the Red River Run. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I've been like, we I feel like if I wouldn't have went to prison, I would have probably died. Do you know what I mean? And I guess
definitely,
I'm very,
definitely,
I'm
definitely.
grateful. I'm very grateful. So
Imagine, like, we were like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Like, when I think about it, I like, even still, when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't even believe I'm here right now.
Hi,
Hi,
Katie. This is another girl. Her name is.
Hi.
hi.
She's just gonna join with us and be on the panel. Well, because I'm asking for more people to join and be live with us, just so that it can be more interesting. Because it's more interesting when there's a lot of people. No. Okay, friend. So, what we're gonna start with, usually I would start with the set of questions that I have, because my questions are set for like people who have been incarcerated in prison. I'm not really gonna follow that. I'm just gonna follow like some winging it questions that I'm gonna ask you about county, about. So I want you to introduce yourself and then tell me how much time you did in what counties, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, no, you, Nichole.
Okay. So my name is Nichole Martinez, and I've done so many different times in county, but like 6 months at a time, I think was the most months I did there. But like I've done a lot of time in and out of county.
Yeah. Um, how would it feel like whenever, well, because you sometimes sometimes people are fighting to get off the streets or whatever. Sometimes people are just waiting to get locked up. But when the judge sentenced you, how did that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, when the judge sentenced me, like I had never like gone through a felony because I got in a felony for like robbing a house or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And it was actually the whole experience was the worst for me, down to the POs, to everything. They just harassed me. Like, that's we have a problem with that though in our system. Like they really don't prepare us for stuff like this. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was awful. I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I just kept getting in trouble too. I couldn't complete my probation.
Okay, and can we talk about your, if you want, like your addiction before, and was that like leading to your arrest, or was that a factor
Oh
in
yeah, definitely. Definitely the drugs. I was abused when I was younger, and then like drugs were just part of the family. Like my parents are the ones that actually turned me on to drugs. So like it was just a normal thing, but literally I had to learn like just from ground zero. I remember the first time they locked me up, how claustrophobic I felt. It was like, oh my God. I don't even know how I got through a lot of those times there, even with some of the girls. Oh my gosh. Like I had bad times and then I had like the best times there. Like, but it was lessons that I needed to learn in life, though. I met a lot of good people in there too. Like, we're all good people. It's just the drugs, you know?
and we
For
make
me, that's
mistakes,
what it
you
was
know?
about, drugs
Yeah,
and like just the way I grew up,
yeah,
the way
that's
they taught me
mhm,
growing up.
yeah. Um, when you were in county, did you have like proper medical attention, or how was the medical when you were in county?
Well, they ignore you. Like, and then especially when you're withdrawing, like, oh my gosh, that's the worst. And you keep on putting medical requests, and then they tell you have to be here so many months to see the doctor, or like they just give you excuse after excuse. So for me, that's the way it was. I had a horrible experience through medical, like always withdrawing, or just issues I would have from coming off the drugs and stuff like that. It was horrible. Like the medical attention, no,
Yeah,
they never really helped me. It was like really there's a big disconnect there for the medical and all that. Like I still seeing and reading about it, like especially our county.
I know our county, so I almost died in our county. If it wouldn't be for Candace Montoya, I'd be dead because I had this big old golf size ball abscess. And Candace literally lands that sucker in the county jail. She's all, "You're gonna die, Rhiannon." She's all, "You're gonna die." She's all, "Put some hot compresses on it." And then you know how tiny she is? She was all, I remember she was all squeezing my boob because my boobs are really big, her little tiny hands on my boobs. And I could just remember her doing that, you know? But I would have died because that thing was right by my heart. I could have went to bed and not woke up one day. You know what I mean? And I put in like 15 medical requests because I was from Gallup. You know, Nichole was in the county. Actually, when that happened, you were in there. We were in there together. They had just transported me from Grants. Remember, I would come from
Yeah.
Gallup, and Gallup. I was being housed there, so we were on boats on the floor. Were you in there when the ceiling fell? Because the ceiling fell in that week too, but you got out that
No,
day.
I
I
think I
remember.
got out
Well,
because
yeah, because
it
I
was
was all,
bad. They moved you guys after that to like another, wasn't it DWI or
yeah, the
something?
DWI because the ceiling fell. Yeah,
Yeah,
on literally on somebody's head. Like the
that
things
was
that
crazy.
it's so crazy. Like
Yeah.
you think that and I don't know, it's just crazy, right? You don't think you're all the
The
way in the
only thing
county
that was
jail.
good about the county was the food where we were at. Like
Oh my
everybody else used to
god.
say, but because
They would,
county food is so nasty, but yuck.
they would tell me, "Rhiannon, pack it up. You're going to court." And I'd be all, "Deuces, I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'm gonna go get some good food." Because in TA they have enchiladas, breakfast burritos. And then I used to be a laundry porter over there, so all the guys know me. When I was in my county, I felt like I was like this princess. They would give me double servings, and then I wondered why I was 215 pounds. Well, because the food is so good, you know? And then our county, most of the people are kicking, so everybody's doesn't want their tray.
Yes,
They're
so you
like,
get that extra plate all the time. Yeah,
oh my gosh, I double traded for a long time, man.
I know. I'm like, I
Yeah.
remember the time we had together. We were even like laundry partners for a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nicole was she's my buddy. She's my real good friend. I know Nicole from from junior high. We went to junior high together. And remember Danielle? I used to babysit for Danielle and Kevin. And I
And
remember
I lived
you
with
from
them.
way, yeah, way, way. So like I've known you for a long, long time. And
And I
then
was like this little punk hanging around with these like, well, they were already like pretty much adults, but like the young adults, you know. But I was like this little kid all hanging around with all the older people.
I feel like you've always been like that though, and
Uh
like you've
huh.
always with
Yeah.
an older crowd, not
Yep.
like you were always with an older crowd, and that I feel bad because you were exposed to those kind of things like through your parent, like you know, like you said, your parents gave you those drugs. Like a lot of
Yep.
that's a lot of an epidemic that has happened in Espanola. Third generations of people because they didn't want to go out and hustle anymore. So then the kids go out and hustle. And like that's what's so it's hard, you know what I mean? And I
It's
think that
like the way of life here. This is just how you're taught. Like you grow up being a baby, being around your parents using like whether it be crack pipes, needles, whatever it is, like that's all I remember growing up. I don't think I can remember a time where I remember like anybody really being sober. Like I just it was a normal thing. Like I'm like I still can't believe like we are where we are right now because like we were not doing good at all. I know I wasn't for sure, but
I
it's
think that's
crazy.
something that makes me so proud of you that you know that you have really turned your whole life around. You know, you have all your kids, you're a mom, you work, you and Jose have been together for a very long time. When you how did your addiction and your incarceration and all that stuff affect your family and your kids?
Well, as a matter of fact, I lost my kids um because of it, because of the drugs. I think I lost my when my oldest was like she was like 7 and but the kids were real young when I lost my kids, and I honestly it was hard for me, and then I had one kid right after the other, so it was really hard for me to be a mom and be on all that stuff. So it was like but I lost my kids and I went through that whole situation with like social services and trying to get my kids back, and I just like couldn't do it, but I landed up doing it. It took years, but in and out of rehabs and all that.
Sometimes that social services battle, the only reason I know is because my mom had that battle with my sister, and then like thereafter, my brother lost his kids to the system too. Like I feel like that's a never ending battle. Like that's something the
Well,
social
that's what comes
services are
hand in hand
horrible, you
with
know?
yeah, that's what comes hand in hand with the incarceration and the drugs, and like that's just like part of like our way of life, you know, because we see that like it goes to our parents, to our brothers and sisters, our cousins, like it's just so common, it's like crazy.
Okay, let me see what other question I have. Did you develop any mental health issues while you were incarcerated, like PTSD, or like sometimes one of my big things is like I didn't never want to get in the shower without no shower shoes.
Oh,
Like you know
that's
how you walk with
definitely
the
one.
shower, like
That and then people's hygiene too. Like the girls that are around you, that was like my pet peeve. Like if you're coming in, okay, if you need me to help you, I'll go in that shower with you and I'll help you take a shower if you can't get in. But that was one of my pet peeves too when people would come in and they do it. I want to jump in the shower. Literally, some of them you had to grab by the hair and pull them to the shower. But yeah, that was like one of my pet peeves. That and just nasty food. Yeah.
I know. I think something when I became in county, well, because I sat there so long. I sat in county for a long time. I remember they, my wife fell in for me. Like I had people literally falling in for me. One of my friends, Chrissy fell in for me 3 times, literally 3 times, and then like I would hit here and there, like what, just randomly, because people, when I walked into TA, I would come in on transport or I would miss commissary or something. The pintero in the front, he knew my mom, and because they knew my mom used to sell drugs, and he would be all, hey mija, he's all, do you need me to give you some sopas for a front, or like the people, it's so weird because in your county it's different, like when you're far from here, like you don't have people like that, like they would send me 6 soups, 2 bags of Jolly Ranchers or whatever, like even when they would mess with me, the cops would always mess with me, and they would be all, don't worry, I have your back, or like the what are the porters up there? They would always give me good oranges, or they would
The
be all,
trustees, yeah.
Rihanna. Yeah, one day the guard opened the thing and he's all, Rihanna, give me your sheets, and I was like, for what? What are you gonna do with them? I was like, trying to get DNA. No, I was just messing with them. Well, because like you never know. And he's all, no, stupid. The guys are gonna give you new sheets. Like like they care about you when you're over there, and especially if you're a porter or whatever, because I was a laundry porter, they take care of you over there, like, and it's such a different feeling, because it's like, because our county jail is in TA, and it's like a mountain jail. Huh,
It's
Nichole?
way in the heck, like way out there. You're like in another country. Like it's almost like you're way out there. They even when you get out, sometimes, well, back then we had to walk. Now they have an RTD, but we had to walk that long road all the way down to Espanola. Like it's like
That's
how
crazy.
it's almost 100 miles up there. I think it was like 70 or 80 or something like that,
Yeah,
something around that. But it's pretty far. I
that's
That's
couldn't
so
believe that.
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, that is wild.
Our poor town.
Yeah. Nichole and I, we also know each other from, I was, at one time, no, I used to sell narcotics. No, just kidding. Lots of
And
people
so
know.
did I. So yeah.
Nichole, yeah, Nichole, we spent a Thanksgiving together one year, and I had already forgot about it, huh, Nichole? I didn't
Yeah.
even remember, and she told me. She was like, I remember we spent this Thanksgiving with you, and I was like, oh wow. Yeah.
And
Hey,
that was around the time where I was doing like really, really bad that time. Like, and you kind of pulled me in, was like, come and eat. And like at the time we were getting kicked out, we were homeless. Like, I've been homeless too. So, like, it's crazy.
yeah, it's like I always felt like, well, because I when I sold drugs, I didn't like I feel like I helped everybody. Like I helped, like I used to have this white lady. She used to work for Los Cumbres, friend, and she used to buy crack from me. And she I used to front it to her, and by the time she got paid, she owed me like a rack. And her, I felt bad. I used to feel so guilty taking her whole paycheck. So then whenever she landed up almost getting evicted, well, come on, like you can't stay smoking crack for like 3 months at a time like that, you know what I mean, and not have
Yeah.
no consequences. She brought me the Los Cumbres card, and she was like, here. And I said, you're crazy. I said, I'm not. I said, you can go fill up your car with that. I said, but I'm not. I said, I will not. I said, so then I started I would let her do my laundry, and she would do my laundry for me. And then I used to feel bad for her, because her husband, I think he used to beat her up, and it becomes like this horrible thing. You feel sorry. And nobody used to be able to come to my house. Nichole was one of the 5 people that could walk to my door. Nobody could walk to my door
Yeah.
because I used to
Yeah.
sell big amounts, not little tiny 20s. I used to sell tripas and half tripas. And if anybody knows what that is, that's what is it? A ball in a teener? Yeah, right? Yeah. And I didn't sell little, but I did to my people like Nichole. I had one guy, Robert, that was dying of cancer. my friend Chrissy, and then my brother and Fred. Only 5 people could literally walk to my door. I remember this one time. No, one time a rat tried to walk to my door, and that's how I knew, because when you're
You know when
sound
they're watching you. You know
or
your people.
when, hey, and
Because you're
then
not, nobody's going to walk to your door that you don't know who's walking there.
friend,
Either
I
one of you,
had
like,
that day, I had a 50 and a 20 on me when he came, and he was trying to buy something small because the feds were waiting down the road. And a voice told me in my head, Rhiannon, get in your car and follow him. And I did. I got in the car and I followed him. I used to have a Grand Prix that I bought with all my drug money. And I drove my car down the road, and I called Robin and I told her, hey, come and meet me over here by the Clean World laundromat. And she was with her on her SUV, and I jumped in her SUV and I was taking pictures of him. Jeremy, they call him Spook, and he was with the Region 3 narcotics detective, like this, friend, talking to them like this. And I'm like, and then he has the nerve to say he was with Lorenza at the time. They got down and made it look good because I was taking pictures of them, and I got down off the car so he could see that I was taking pictures of him. I had those pictures flown to every dope dealer in Spania in like 1.3 seconds, because you know what it is, friend, when you're
you have to have
in
each
the
other's
game.
back. That's how
Well,
you are
yeah,
when
and
you're
then
on that.
he got. Let me tell you, he got off the van. He made it look good. So I said, "All right, you want to make it look good? If they don't tow your van, it's a wrap." I stayed at the car wash, and Lorenza got in the van and drove the van away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you
like
knew who it was right
like,
there.
and that's what made me stop, because I knew that they were watching me. And when
Hmm.
they start watching you like that, that's when they get a sales on you, friend. And once you have a sales, it's a wrap. Like, you can drug deal for like a long time, but once they start surveillancing you like that, it starts getting crazy. But yeah, you're right, and we've come very far, because like I said, I could be dead, not in prison. I could be dead. And I'm what we're doing now with the podcast. I'm trying to make it like I want to have an event where I do like a card tournament for like the people who want to come, and like we throw an event, and then whoever wins, they get half of the pot entry. Well, because we need a little bit of money to throw the thing, and like just a little bit of stuff. But I'm gonna try to do it at a golf course.
That's, I don't know. I'm tripping out on you because, like, ever since I seen you get out of prison, you're like doing all kinds of things. I'm like, wow, that's so great. I just like, you're kind of inspiring me in a lot of ways because I'm like, I see you working for the state and doing your jewelry and entering in the state fair and doing all this stuff. Like, girl, I'm so proud of you. But you were always a great person, no, even before that. I mean, I knew you were destined to be great already, but like just to see you come from what you came from, and you did all that time and you got out, and it's almost like you were like on a mission when you got out. You were like, I'm gonna get like everything, all my shit together. And look at you, you're a smart person. You already have all kinds of classes. I see you working out. Like, I'm like, I don't know, that's cool.
I'm almost ready to graduate with my bachelor's. I just don't have the money to do it. I'm gonna
I
go apply
know.
at Northern because I only need 17 more credits, and then I'll have my bachelor's degree. And then literally, friend, all I could tell you is get your education, because when I was 18, my grandpa, he told me, get your education, mija, because that's all they can never take that away from you. I had my associate's degree when I went to prison. Like I've
Yeah. Yeah.
established
See, that's
almost
why I say
all of everything this bachelor's degree says out. Like I didn't have nothing, and I've only gone like about a year and a half, and I only need one more semester, but it's like it's really
did
hard.
you
But
do schooling in there?
I'm not
Did
gonna
you do
give up.
schooling in prison or
So
no?
now, right now, they are giving FAFSA money to the women that are incarcerated. We never got that.
Mm-mm.
I would have gotten probably my master's. I was in there for 9 years. We never got
See, that's
FAFSA
good
money.
then.
Whenever we take classes, we have to take one class per 6 months. Like it's really horrible. The programming in there. Katie, have you done programming in there?
Yeah, I was starting to do the college, and then I went back to Western. but taking one class at a time is ridiculous. Like
Yeah, it
it
is.
basically sets us up for failure because they say they get all this money from the state for schooling in prisons, and they actually don't. They use that money. They have to use that
They
money
put it
somewhere else.
somewhere else, right? They don't use it
Yep.
what they're supposed to be using it for.
So now by law, all people who are incarcerated, male or female, they are have the right to get FAFSA money. And that's great because then you can take college classes. I'm not too sure because I know that Springer, the women's facilities here are not too together, but the men's facilities are. Miss Gwen, do you know anything about the FAFSA money and if they're doing that here yet, or do you know? Yeah.
No, I was gone when all that started.
Yeah,
I've
because
been
they
gone
just
since 2015.
yeah, they just and that's supposed to have been going since we were there because FAFSA money, even if we were incarcerated, it would have just went to our college. We would have never gotten it. So we should have been
Hmm.
entitled to it back then.
No, you wouldn't have never got it anyway because if Hickson had anything to do with it,
Hey, it
it
would
was
have
going
went
in
over
her
their
bank account.
pocket. Did you know, Nichole, when we were in prison, when I first hit the prison, the warden had an ankle monitor.
Yes,
What?
for
Yeah.
selling Girl
No.
Scout cookies and keeping the money.
Miss Gwen,
Wow.
That's
Oh
the truth.
wow.
yeah,
That's the truth. She was
it
selling
was.
Girl Scout cookies to the staff and she was pocketing the money.
Oh,
So all the
wow.
guards
I
that
was
And
were
at
how
getting
Western
crooked
and
our
they wrote me
systems
and
are,
told
though.
me
They're
about it.
very
I'm like,
crooked.
wow.
yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
right.
Yeah,
So
Hickson
you
was a
guys
hot
were all
mess.
locked up together?
I was
All of you guys?
we were all me and Miss Gwen were in CCA in Grants and I was with Katie and Springer.
Oh,
See, I
okay.
Miss
never made
Gwen
it to
was also
Springer.
in Springer too.
No,
So
I
you
didn't go to
seen,
Springer.
Oh
so
no,
you
you
guys
didn't?
all
Did
were.
you? Only
Uh-uh.
Western.
I was already gone. Y'all got transferred to Springer.
And how
I
long
left
did you
January
guys do?
2015.
How much time did you do, Miss Gwen?
5.5.
Wow.
And Katie about 5'2", yeah?
I did six,
Yeah.
six and a half.
6.
Woo!
Wow.
That's what I was supposed to do. Actually, they broke me off 37.5 years, and the judge didn't want to give me that. So they made me do half of it. So they gave me 12 years, and they told me I had to do the 6 without any
With no
probation
trouble.
afterward. So I ended up doing 5.5, doing my credits and getting all my doing them classes and stuff.
So you didn't
Oh,
have
that's
no
great.
probation, Miss Gwen?
I didn't have no probation. I just had 2 years parole.
Wow. That's
I
good. And
thought
so
I don't
you've been
know.
off for a long time.
Yeah.
That's
I've
good.
been up for 3 years. Well, it's gonna almost be 3 years now. Yeah.
No,
I
I've
don't
been
know.
out
Proud
for
of you,
7 years
Nichole.
and 5 years off paper.
Yeah, Miss
Wow.
Gwen's been doing good. She lives in Texas. Almost, she lives in Texas.
And Katie,
Yeah.
And
are
Katie,
you
Katie,
from
where
New
do you live?
I
Mexico?
I'm here in New Mexico. I finished my parole June of next year, and then I finished probation in 27.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
That's
So
good,
that's
Katie.
good. You're almost done.
Katie, do
Yeah.
you have time to do some of your interview, or are you
Yeah.
okay? Okay. Okay. I don't remember what question we were on. Do you remember?
No.
Okay. Let's talk about if you developed any mental health issues while you were incarcerated.
I had mental health issues before I went into prison, but I was there when people committed suicide, and it brought back up a lot of old stuff. Um, so my mental health got worse, I feel, in prison. Um, I was always in one-on-ones, um, because I adapted, but I couldn't handle it. Like, my daughter was on the outside, and for about a year, I didn't have any contact with her because of my mom and my brother. Um, but now, like, they put me on Howdall, and I recently got off of that, but I still have some side effects from it. They put you on all these medications in prison, not telling you the side effects. So now I have I have a permanent twitch in my face facial muscles, people think I'm tweaking and I'm not. It's a side effect.
Oh
So I'm
my
on
gosh.
Cogentix to
See,
help
when
with
I
those side effects.
Wow.
From the medication, because you didn't need that. Well, you know what I mean. You didn't
Yeah,
need
they put you
that
on
kind of
medication to try to
medication.
mess you up, though. That's the problem. They
Yep.
put you on them pills. Cause when I stepped up in there in 2000, no, 1998, when I walked up in there in 1998, oh, they took me first to the psychiatrist, and I told she told me, well, do you need some of this? I said, I don't need nothing. I said, I'm good. She said,
I
you ain't gonna need nothing for your
remember
mental state.
that.
I don't need nothing. What do you not understand? I don't want you putting me on nothing. I said, whatever I got, whatever happens with me while I'm here, I will deal with it. But I do not want to be put on no drugs. You is not messing up my mind.
They try to medicate everybody that goes
Everybody,
into
yep.
the pizza. Even in county, they want everybody medicated. They really do.
Everybody was on the same meds. It was funny. I mean, you go in and you could ask them for what you want, basically.
Yeah, you're like, hey, can you give me some of
Some
this and some
Wellbutrin
of that?
or Wellbutrin. I think it was Wellbutrin or something. Wasn't it
Everybody was on Wellbutrin.
Everybody
Everybody,
has to start
they
those.
was keeping them,
I
they was
remember. Oh
they
my
was putting them
god.
underneath. Some of them was swallow. I seen some of the girls swallow them, and they wouldn't swallow it all the way down, and they just swallow enough so that way when they check their mouth, they'll throw it back up, and they would sell it to somebody else. I sit there and see enough of that shit.
I seen some
I
crazy
seen
things. I
enough
seen
of
some
that.
people throwing up pills in a cup. I seen some crazy things too for pills, you guys.
I don't know if any of y'all
People
know
become
Special
desperate
K.
in there.
You see the
Did
craziest
any of
things in
y'all ever
there.
meet Special K? That girl right there. I used to see her sit there and take methadone, and she would swallow it, and she would spit it up and give it to somebody else, and I just roast the cow. That was
Oh
the
yeah.
roast for everything. Yes,
You'll do
they would give
whatever.
her
Like if it's
methadone,
in
and
your
she would
ass
throw
cheeks,
it up and
you'll
give it to
snort it.
somebody else. And I was just like, God.
Thank you,
Yeah,
friend.
I'm like, I remember that.
Did you hear what she said, Miss Gwen? They'll be snorting that shit out of their ass cheeks.
Cheeks.
She did. I used to sit there and watch her. I watched the med lady come through, give it to her. As soon as she walked out, I see Special K sitting at the end of her bed. As soon as they walked out, she go in the bathroom, throw it up in a cup, and whoever wanted it, she'll give it to them.
Oh
Yep.
my god, I couldn't do that. I could
That's
not.
gross.
And
That's
knowing that
gross.
the girl threw it up, I could not do that.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You'd
That
be
was gross.
surprised.
I
People
even
went
threw up
through the
just
Yeah.
looking
craziest things.
at it.
Katie, how did your addiction habits affect your incarceration, past and
Oh
present?
gosh.
Well, like when you were in there and now that you're out.
I was high every day.
In jail?
um in jail from county
I'm
up
all,
until I left prison, I was high every single day. If I wasn't high, I was drunk. My homegirl
oh
actually
yeah,
taught
she
me how to
told me.
make cooch. Yeah.
She said she got
Yeah.
addicted to fentanyl in prison, bro. How does that even happen? Oh my god.
Wow.
Only
Wow.
in New Mexico,
Don't
right?
they? Yeah, and don't they drug test you guys in prison?
So it was only certain people. Like the whole time I was in prison, I was only drug
Katie's
tested
one of
twice.
those that flies under the radar. Look at her. She's one of those that doesn't look like she causes trouble. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all how it was when I got there in 1998. In 1998, they used to take alcohol swabs, make a big jar of Kool-Aid. They would steal them out of the nurse's office. They would sit there and let the alcohol absorb in the Kool-Aid, and that was alcohol. And they was walking around there drunker than a dog.
Wow.
Yep.
They would take. They
Yeah.
used to have the hairspray, the pump hairspray that you can twist off the top.
They drink
They
it.
were drinking that. They were straight drinking that.
Oh my god.
That's the reason why they started giving us hairspray. That shit that they was giving us was sugar water. We're giving y'all, because I didn't use hairspray in my head. They was giving them that sugar water, and they stopped buying hairspray. And then
Or
they
hand
stopped letting
sanitizer.
they started making the nurses keep all the alcohol swabs locked up when the girls going to medical.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you know, Miss
At
Gwen,
Western, they put you in the doctor's room and they leave that shit unlocked. They're
my
stupid.
cousin Alicia
They want you to
Dominguez,
steal it. That's a
she,
setup. They want you to steal it because they know if
They,
you get caught and you hide, they know where you
and
got
they'll
the
run you
alcohol
up.
from.
Yeah. My cousin Alicia Dominguez is the one who got the hairspray banned from CCA because she drank a bottle, escaped, climbed the roof, and was trying to escape, and she couldn't get down. They couldn't get her down. I'm like, who even does
wow.
that? You know, I heard that story when I was locked up. I was like, how come we can't have hairspray anymore? And they're like, some crazy girl, Alicia Dominguez, drank some hairspray. And I was like, oh my God, that's my
So it wasn't
cousin.
just her. It wasn't just her.
There was a
Blanca, it
lot of
was
people,
a
yeah.
whole lot of them. The Webb sisters. I mean, I know the whole fucking crew that was sitting up there doing anything and everything they could to get high in CCA.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
I
they
heard
started
that.
doing
And
like
one thing
sales
for
in
sure,
Western.
when you see everybody go out to the yard, when in 1998, when you see everybody go out to the yard, that means the drugs have made it in. And it was coming in through the staff. And I
The girls
bullshit
that
you
made
know,
it in.
everybody was in that nap and all kinds of shit. And I'm sitting up there looking at them like, wow.
Miss Gwen, the girls telling themselves they do. I mean, like, I
Yeah,
hear some
honey,
young
there
girls,
was one
they're
girl in that
crying
named
out. I'm
Jeanette.
like, man, we're getting raided. Everybody get ready.
Jeanette, this
Oh
one
my
girl named
God.
Jeanette,
Listen to me.
she
They
gets so
call me
high.
the legal mail at 8 o'clock in the night. And I'm like, and the CO's laughing. And I'm all fool. They don't do illegal mail at 8 o'clock at the night. I go, why are they trying to UA us? Well, because the girls are nodding out on the table.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Jeanette, boy, you know when Jeanette was high, her whole face would turn apple red. She would be mopping the walls. She was a passport. She would be mopping the
Mopping
walls
the
and
walls.
everything.
Mopping the wall.
Mopping the
You
fucking
know.
walls.
I see
She
people
said,
mopping the
she
walls
be
before.
mopping the walls. And I'm just sitting there like, y'all better be prepared because they know, you know they fixing to come in here and tear us apart. Honey,
Yeah,
I'll be the pull back my
they're
drugs and
all
everything because
watching
I
on the
know.
cameras.
It
Yeah,
got to
they
the
be
point
all
at
watching on
Springer.
camera.
It got to the point in Springer and Western both. Like the A team would sit there and hit like Unit 4, and by the time they got to 7, everybody was ready. It spread like wildfire. And when they do raids like that, they lock us down. But you have the porters and shit that are still at work. Like at Western, I worked in the pond. So I would see the A team go to like 1, 2 and that side. So by the time I got put back at 7, I was like, hey, they're fucking coming in suited. Y'all fucking get ready.
Everybody already has all their stuff put away. Their makeup's all dug in a hole.
Yeah.
They raided us one day at
Or in the
CCA.
outlets.
They got all
I've
the
seen
guards
people
from
use the outlets.
Western, and they helped them raid us. And they made everybody go to the gym. And when they hit our pod, I was in
Yeah.
G1. I
Yeah.
told them,
They
I
put
said,
you all in one
we are
spot.
fixing to get raided. And they like, no, we not. I said, yes, we are. When they came in there and hit that door and everybody came from Western, all them CEOs came from Western, I said, what did I just say? Because they made me leave work. I was on my way to work going to in the shop with Mr. Lewis. And they said, you got to go back to your pod. And I seen all of them from Western. I came in and I said, hey, check it out. Everybody, if you got illegal shit, they coming to raid us. They already putting half of the unit already in the gym. They thought I was lying. When they hit that door, half of them went to the fucking gym in their pajamas. They wouldn't even let you change clothes.
Oh, wow.
And then
They
they
used to
squat.
raid
Do they
so
squat and
dirty
cuff
at
you guys?
CCA.
They hit us at 8 o'clock in the morning. I told them, I said, we are getting raided. I'm telling you, I just left the gym because they made me come back. They thought I was lying. When I hit it, they like, you was telling the truth. I said, I told y'all dumbasses.
Just that
CCA
luck.
is crazy. They used to raid early in the morning and they come in like a SWAT team. They take
Yep.
everybody to the gym, UA every single person. They shake down their whole bed. Like it's crazy. They never.
Do
I've
I
never
know
been
in
rated the way they rate in CCA.
do
Baby,
they
they told
rate
my
you
phone
guys
to
the
go
way
up.
they
My
rate you guys
mattress
in
good,
county?
everything was flipped upside down.
Yeah, no
Because they
worse.
make you
They're over
squat
there
and cough, right?
taking
Every
apart each
time.
sock and going through your underwear and throwing your pictures on the floor and some more shit. And one of you know
Squatting
what?
and coughing.
I
See,
had
when
my
Nixon did
boss
that to
was
us,
looking at people's underwear. I'm like, that's nasty,
when
bro.
Nixon did that to us, she had them throwing away pictures, people personal pictures of their family members. Cause a lot of
That's
the girls
illegal, bro. That's
in
illegal per
Memphis, they
policy.
came back and they told us they had scooped up a bunch of pictures, and they like, we don't know who these people family is, but they brought them to the gym, and they said, make sure y'all ask everybody if they know who these people are, because these are some of their pictures that Miss Hickson made them throw away.
That's illegal. Per policy,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to throw pictures on the floor or take them
Baby,
out of the book like that. They're not
we
supposed to do
did.
that. You
We
could get
really
fired. A
did.
cop could get fired for doing stuff like that. In the men's
We
prison,
That's how
did.
Spangler
men,
got fired.
yeah, the men don't play around. The men will go ask for an escort back to their unit so that the lieutenant can see the pictures on the floor. And if an LT sees the pictures on the floor, they're through. They're through. It's so
Oh
They
different
wow.
though,
did.
the men in the women's prison. Like it's just like, and when we were at CCA, they were all natives, huh, Miss Gwen? And they used to say the natives run this prison, like it was pure native
See, the
people.
only
And
way
then
Miss Hickson got away with it at CCA is because her father was one of the top dogs and worked for the CCA company.
the
So
corporation,
she got away with a whole lot of shit. That's the reason why she got transferred out of that CCA in Grants, and she went to the CCA in Colorado because that's where her father is. And she's working in a men's prison now.
wow. Hey,
I
and she was
remember they were raiding
she was
Western.
selling, listen, Brent, she was selling Girl Scout cookies to the inmates and then keeping all the money, and then that's federal time, that's fed time right there, because
Baby
when
Miss
you're stealing
Hickson is a
from
cold piece
from
of
a
work.
from the Girl Scouts like that, okay, they caught her doing that. Then she got money, grants to open a hair cutting salon for Miss Gwen and their people, because at CCA, we used to have real scissors, and the ladies, we used to get shop appointments. We used to get to go cut our hair with real scissors. Like, it was really cool because you can't get that. You know what I mean? And she was
Yeah.
supposed to open up a hair salon, and she embezzled all the money.
She
Wow.
embezzled all the money through our state issue clothes.
Yeah.
Is she still there or is she
She's
No,
gone?
she
working
can
at
be,
she
I
Miss
mean, she
Gwen just
can,
said she's the head of a CCA in Denver
in
now, in the
Colorado,
men's.
she can men's
Oh
facility CCA
wow.
in Colorado. Her
That's
dad got her
crazy,
transferred
right?
out there because she had the house that she was staying in Grants. She had it remodeled. She bought her husband a brand new sports car. This is after I had got there and been there a couple of years. She bought her husband a brand new sports car, candy apple red with a convertible top.
Wow. Hey, she was
And if you
flossing
ever
too.
got to
She
see her,
wasn't hiding it.
she
She
had like
wasn't
10,
hiding it.
no, she had,
She
used to
was
have like
not
10 to
hiding it.
15 diamond tennis bracelets on her wrist.
I'm
She had
serious,
all kind
Brent.
of
When I
gold and
went to
diamonds.
prison, I was like, I cannot believe the warden has an ankle monitor.
Yeah,
That's
that's what she
I
crazy.
got
was
it from
I
Miss
don't
Fairfax
how
with
does that even happen? How can a criminal be taking care of criminals?
Like
I'm
I
like,
said,
wow.
her father had pulled with the CCA corporation, so he let her get away with a lot of shit. Just like I was cool with a lot of the CEOs, and they told me a lot of shit that was happening up in the front. Miss Hickson bought her a lighted desk that cost like $5,000. It's a button you push and it'll light up.
Damn.
imagine. She was embezzling all that money to buy lighted up desks. No, just kidding.
She was
She should
embezzling a
have
lot
went
of
and got
money.
lipo, Miss Gwen. No.
She should have done a whole lot more than that. But a lot of the CEOs told me, Miss Fernandez, Chico, all of them. I was cool with a lot of them. Patricio. They was real cool with me. I didn't have no problems with them. And they would tell me a lot of shit, and I'm just like, wow. I said, we in here to get treated like that? So, yeah.
Katie, how did your incarceration affect your family or your loved ones?
They weren't supportive until the end. I never once asked my mom for money. I either worked in the kitchen or the pond at Western. So I got the highest paying jobs, and I made sure that I would lie about what time I'd had to be at work because we did our own schedules. So I'd go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning and get off at 5 o'clock at night. And I made that money.
For hours? You're smart, Katie.
Don't they only pay you like so many cents an hour, $1 an hour? How much were they
So
paying you?
when I left Western,
it's cheap, friend.
when I left Western, the most you could make in the kitchen was $1.25. And
Wow.
when I started in building at Western and the pond, it was 45 cents. Well, I went to the unit manager and I was like, check it out. I'm in the sun all fucking day. Y'all don't give me fucking sunscreen. Y'all don't give me fucking water. Y'all don't even hardly ever take me to the fucking bathroom. If you want me to keep doing this fucking work, you'll give me a raise. And they bumped it up to 75 cents when I left. I was getting paid 75 cents for building and for the pond, which was cool because in 7, besides 3, that's the other jungle. And working in the pond, you see RDC because that's right in front of medical. So I'd sit there and I'd be doing the plants and
over there. No. You were trying
I'd be getting shit from RDC and taking it to the unit.
Oh, well, that was your main goal.
That's how you make money too, right? Or other.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you know how much a strip is going for now in prison? They're selling them for like 2 bills, almost 3.
I
in
know.
the men's, they're going for
It
3.
depends on the person because the most I've seen a whole strip go for was 500.
Wow.
A whole strip for 500. I was like, you're smoking dick hair. You're fucking crazy. I was like, give me $40 and I'll give you half a strip. Guarantee you're gonna come back for more.
That's crazy, right? These people want to be getting rich off of $5 a box, or however much they are nowadays. I don't even know.
I'm lucky. I always had it made.
When I
I
first
never
started at
really
the
went
CCA, they
without when
thought
I
you had a 10
landed
cents
up
an
in
hour.
jail. Really, ever.
If you was working in the yard, you was getting 10 cents an hour.
Oh yes, at Springer, when you
Wow.
at Springer, you work for 20 cents for 30 days, mandatory. You cannot get a job until you work on the rate crew for 20. I never did though because I was one of the first trains there, and I was an aerobics instructor. I made 50 cents. Thanks God for my good ass mouthpiece. No, just kidding.
I went straight to the kitchen.
Everybody was like, Rhiannon, how did you get an aerobics instructor job? I'm all, I don't know. That's what it says on my chrono. No, just kidding.
I went straight to the kitchen.
In 1998, they sent me there because they didn't have nobody cutting hair then. So when I did them 2 years, them first 2 years, I did them and then I got out. But when I went back, my daughter was already there. And Mr. Lewis already knew about me because my daughter had told him my mom is a licensed hairstylist, so she already got her license. I came into the chow hall and Mr. Lewis came straight to my table. He said, you'll be working in the beauty shop. He said, I need a copy of your cosmetology license. I called my dad and told him to send them to me in the mail, and I got them 2 days later. I took them to Mr. Lewis. The lady that do the scheduling where you go and get your pay or whatever. I can't even think of her name.
Fernandez?
And she kind of
was it Fernandez, the little skinny one?
Yes, Miss Fernandez. She came and got me, and she told me, she said, Miss Monroe, you start working in the beauty shop and you start at 50 cents an hour. I said that.
That's good. Yeah.
And I didn't even have to work after the time in the beauty shop, and I still got paid.
They need to do stuff like that. They need to have like in the women's prison, they need to have where they have a course where the women can get certificates, like working certificates to come out and work, because a lot of people that are in there, they just breastfeed their mattress. They do not work. They do
But
not
see, the
work.
ones
Like,
that was able to go outside the facility and work on regular jobs on work release, they fucked it up because they was out there getting high, having sex, and bringing back drugs and shit, and they fucked it up for all the ones on work release.
I was a level one at Springer, and I used to go off the facility. Like, that's something that's so it's neat. Like, I wish that they would make a wildlife crew over there, because the fires are gonna get bad, and one of those crews, the girls could be getting paid real money, you know. Like, they said they were gonna make a fireman crew, but I don't understand why they don't do it.
They did that
Well, they
CCA
took away the
because,
horse
like I
program.
said, the girls was
It's
too
not there
wild.
at all no more, right?
They took it all away. They took the horse program. They took away where the inmates could go clean the staff trailers, like the warden's trailer and everything. They took all that shit away
What? The level ones
Why, for
can't go off
drugs?
the ground no more? Wow. Why?
because a couple of
That's the
the
reason why
COs
we got
got
Because I
caught
was
sent from
fucking
thinking of
Western.
inmates.
doing it.
I'm a,
That's why we got sent from Western, because the girls, the men's was out there working,
That
civilians was
sucks.
out there working in the parking lot, and they was talking to them, and they had them leaving tobacco and weed and shit for them, and somebody told on them, because they had brought it back into the honor pod unit where we was at. That was the end of that. They said they strip searched us and everything, and they said, pack y'all shit, y'all going back to CCA.
oh my goodness. I'm a, Miss Gwen. She's like,
That
you guys are going
sucks.
back to PCA.
Sure
I've
did.
seen that happen so many times, though, in
Missy
jail.
and the
I've
cheese
seen that
guy.
happen so much.
What was
They're
her
all
name?
pack your bags. You're going to Gallup. No.
Oh my God, the Gallup. But you know what? In Gallup, there was more drugs there. Like, the first time I landed up in Gallup, they hit we got like an ounce of coke in there.
There's
I was
always
like,
drugs in
a
Gallup.
whole
I
ounce
used to
just
ride
for a
with those
pack of
Gallupers
cigarettes.
tough.
Imagine we gave her a pack of cigarettes. She was going to prison, right? And she didn't want to come out positive, right? So she was selling it. But when we landed up in there, because a bunch of people from Espanol landed up in there, like Audrey Martinez,
Oh my gosh.
Shorty, like all of us were all together. And those are all the crazy
Those are all the
people that
crazy
like to do
girls.
everything. We were getting high for days in there,
How could
passing
you guys
those
get high in
cornbread
that
trays.
Gallup cell?
Ugh,
Were you guys in a
beans
big
and
cell
corn.
by yourselves?
Um, they put us in like pods, like separate, like A pod, B pod, or whatever. But for some reason, they put us all together, all the Espanola people. So
Yeah, they
we were all
always
in the
do.
same pod. We all were I was sleeping with Audrey and some girl she was going out with from another county, another Nichole, and Shorty, and there was like a few of the other girls that were there. I think Shannon, a few people, but there was a lot of us there, and we like it just depends, but like so many drugs, like wherever you go, there's drugs wherever you go.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. It is.
Sure is. Because at
We
CCA,
kept
when
getting
I was
sent
there the
down
first time,
because of the
they
cigarette
had the
smell.
drugs coming through maintenance. They had the drugs coming through maintenance. They would have it put in the package, and they would send it to the maintenance guy, and he was collecting all the drugs and passing it to the inmates that was paying him to get the drugs in.
The maintenance man.
The maintenance man, he would have them to put it in the package because they wouldn't open it, they wouldn't search it. If it said maintenance, CCA maintenance, and they put his name on it, it'll go straight to him. Mail wouldn't even check it out or nothing. They would strictly take it right to him. And he would call that inmate into the maintenance office, give them their shit, and send them on their way.
Well,
Wow. I'm all
That's how we got a lot
wow.
of games from CCA in the beginning. And they wouldn't have never got busted if somebody snitched on somebody, however it went down, but somebody snitched, because I guess they wouldn't give them a front or whatever because they already owe the money and they wouldn't give them no more. And they told them. And they told them where the shit was, and they went in there and raided that unit, which I think was, what is that unit right there in the center?
B unit.
B unit. It was B4.
That's RDAP. That's the drug unit.
Yeah, it wasn't RDAP then because I went there when I first came out of RDC. But yeah, after they had made it into RDAP, whoever it was in there, they went in there and they got raided and they found that shit. And so I was told it was Carla Sessions. I said, I don't know, but that's what it was said. Carla Sessions is the one that told on her.
Wow, that's crazy. I feel like everybody tells on themselves sometimes though, because
see, Carla Sessions started to get me talking about what happened to your daughter to put something in your grandbaby's diaper, and I'm like, hell no. I said, my people ain't gonna drive all the way up here to be trying to smuggle no fucking drugs in here. I said, I was a dope dealer on the street. I'm not dealing no fucking drugs up in this penitentiary. Is you crazy? So apparently, when she told me that, and I still turned her down, she went back and said something to somebody. They told that I was supposed to be expecting some drugs in. It's supposed to come in my granddaughter's diaper. McDowell came to my table and she said, Miss Monroe, I need you to open up your granddaughter's diaper. I said, sure. And when I got back to my pod, I said, you tell Carla Session, whoever the fuck she told, I said, they came looking in my granddaughter's diaper for some fucking drugs. I said, but it wasn't that because I told her I wasn't going to do no shit like that. My daughter and my dad didn't come up here for me to go to jail for some bullshit. And I said, I ain't going to jeopardize my business for them. I said, that shit is not worth it. Yeah. Carla Session did. I said, man, y'all some faulty ass bitches. I said, but I wasn't going to do that shit anyway. So y'all can miss me. I wasn't doing that.
I smuggled in a lot of jewelry, but I never, because when I was in prison, well, because I feel like I sat in county for 2 years, and I'm not kidding you that everything that you could do in county, I probably did it 6 times. Like whatever you could think of, like everything, anything and everything, I did it. I mean, I'm not kidding. So when I got to prison, I was all not gonna do that because they'll take my good time, and I was really scared, you know. One time, this one time, do you remember STIU Garcia? My cousin sent me some Suboxones in a carrot. I didn't ask him to. He did, and it got jammed up. And I told her I didn't know anything about it because I didn't know, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't even know who that is. It was my cousin though. But you can get jammed up like that for time, you know what I mean?
Oh, they believe it. They sent. That's the reason why they stopped. You know the little singing.
You can't even get mail no more. You can't get
they won't even let you have them no more. They wouldn't even let you have those.
Yep. Katie, I wanted to ask you, during your stay, you said something about an act of violence. Can you tell me? Well, because I feel like when we're incarcerated, we're at the mercy of our surroundings. You know what I mean? Like we can't help what goes on around us. You know what I mean? I remember I was in RDC one time, and Kendra Burgoon, she's a cutter. We were having church one time, and she was slashing herself. Now I think I stayed traumatized from that because there was blood all over the wall. Like I had never seen something like that before, and we were all at a church thing. You know, like it was really. So when you're incarcerated, you're at the mercy of your surroundings. You know.
I've seen people get beat with locks, soap, pushed down the stairs. Somebody towards the end of my stay actually hung herself in level 4s and she wound up dying. That was traumatic because that was my homegirl, and the whole day we were trying to get Swafford and Miss Lamb to go talk to her because she had just lost her baby dad, and she wound up hanging herself right above her girlfriend, to be exact. And they didn't do fuck about it. And it was weird because the next day it was supposed to be sunny, but we went to breakfast and it was dark, it was raining, and that's when everybody found out that she had hung herself and she died. They had one girl die of COVID down in Unit 8 because they wouldn't listen to her. She stopped breathing in her sleep. Um, I've been in fights. I've seen people get stabbed. That was fucking crazy too.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it's have you gone to therapy? Well, because I feel like a lot of that is it's all trauma, you know, you need to
Yeah.
speak a little bit of you need to talk about it and like well because I know I seen people too get assaulted. I had to fight a lot. A lot more than I ever wanted to. No, just kidding. You know, just
Now,
because
what I've seen a lot of
either
when I first went to
you
prison,
fight or you let them punk you or hey, open
right?
up that drawer, you know, like it's always something. And especially when you're a new pretty girl, you know, like they're always trying to test you, you know what I mean? Well,
I had gotten into a fight. I had gotten into a fight. This girl called me out, and I was in the blind spot room. That's where people would go to fuck, do tattoos, whatever. And she called me out. And I was like, you know where my cell is? Let's go. So we boxed it. I beat her. And as soon as the CEO went in, she went straight to me. She's like, she just beat the fuck out of me. Watch me go in her room on the camera. So they didn't pull me out yet because they couldn't prove that she went into my cell. And I let my anger get the best of me. And I was like, come up here, bitch, round two. You're going to fucking sit there and snitch on me? Get up here. And she got almost all the way up to the stairs, and I pushed her down the stairs.
Katie.
She told on me. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
I know that's horrible. I hate. Oh no,
That's the
that's
worst thing to do in jail is tell.
that's the rule on the streets, right? We don't
Yeah,
tell.
right?
We don't tell. Katie, is there anything else? I'm gonna ask both you guys because I didn't ask this one, Nichole, that you guys would like to share about your experience with us or with our viewers.
What made it easy for me was actually when you did the aerobics class and when I would see you give advice to other people, I would ear hustle, and like the advice that you would give would actually help me. That made it easy. People say that family this, family that. Well, I didn't have family on the streets. So when I went to prison, I felt welcomed. I had that respect. I had family. But if it wasn't for me going to prison, I would be dead right now. I was doing 2 grams of heroin a day. I was doing 3 grams of meth a day. Like, I was doing really bad. And so I can honestly say going to prison saved my life.
Wow.
As for
And
me, if it wasn't for going to jail, I mean, I probably would have like that would have been my path to prison. But I'm spiritual, so a lot of spirituality helped me. And like the guy I got with, he helped me. Like we kind of struggled a little bit together, but we would land up in jail at the same time, and we would like, but he changed, if anything, he changed something in my brain that was like I wanted to stop because like I was tired. And I think prison I mean, I'm sorry, I think that jail was one of the major things that made my brain snap, because I was like, I don't want to be here. Like it's like you're so constricted. You can't go to a refrigerator. You can't talk to your anybody when you want. Your kids, like it was just a lot. So like I'm glad that I did do time, and I did go through all that time that I went through. Even just with people, like I met so many good people there. Like you, I'm like, thank God you were there a couple of times. Like you have always given me strength, because like you were like almost like a part of the furniture over there. But like I had a lot of good times also in there. I mean, I if I could say, I've had like the best conversations in jail. And I think I met a lot of good people, and a lot of people taught me a lot of things to do on the outs and not to get in trouble again. We would hold each other accountable and like be like, I don't want to see you in here again or whatever. But thank God, like thank God that jail or whatever, or prison helped you or whatever it did. No, like all of you guys, I'm sure it taught you some sort of a lesson in some sort of a way. But like, I'm just to see all of you guys do that much time, like, because I haven't done prison time, but to see all of you guys do prison time and see how good you guys are doing, hearing your guys' story, like, even though you say that you got a lot of trauma from that, but like, you're gonna help a lot of people out eventually with all that stuff. Like, I want to help people too, and I'm like, I could even tell Miss Gwen, she probably helps out a lot of people. She's probably a mentor
Oh,
for a
I
lot of
believe
people.
it. And they still, a lot of them still talk to me, just like Alexandria
That's a lot of
Mankin.
power.
She
Hold
still
on, guys. I
talks
don't know
to
what.
me. I mean, a lot of them still call me Mama Gwen, Miss Gwen. I still keep in contact with a lot of the girls I was in there with, and a lot of them tell me they appreciated me being there because I was the one that kept made them keep they sane. They kept them sane because they were about ready to lose it and shit. And I'd be like, don't let nobody take your joy. I said, stop. Don't let no bitch tell you, oh, well, you whoopty woo woo woo. No, bitch, don't let her take your good time because that's what she doing. I said, misery loves company. And that's all it is. When they picking at you, they mad because you getting close to going home and they asses is still going to be there. So they want you to fight with them so that way you can stay there with them a little bit longer. I cussed out a grip of females for that shit. They tried to pick at me. I told them I was at Santa Fe. I was in Santa Fe, as a matter of fact, and that was my last year. I got out in August, and they sent us back to CCA. I think it was in June. It was either May or June. They sent us back to CCA, and I only had a couple of months left. And these bitches over at Western, they gonna tell me they gonna start trying to talk shit. Not Western, at Santa Fe in the South. They gonna start talking shit to me and shit. And I was with one of my friends, and she like, no. She said, no, don't listen to them. I said, I ain't finna go off. I said, I'm finna tell them just like this. I said, all of y'all sitting up there in that little clip. I said, as soon as one of y'all walk away, they gonna talk about you just like y'all mad because I don't hang out with y'all. I don't think I'm better than y'all. I know I got more common sense than y'all because I don't sit there and hang in the clique and sit there and talk about everybody that's in here. Because you ain't going to make me miserable to stay here with you because I'm going home. I got a purpose at home. So it ain't worth me staying here wasting my good time to deal with you hoes. I said, y'all sit here and y'all deal with it. I'm not dealing with it. And I walked out their faces and they got mad because they thought they were going to make me fight with them and I didn't.
Miss Gwen
I
was
just
like
kept
a
them on
mom
the table.
figure to a lot of
I could
females. To a
tell.
lot of
I could
females.
tell she gives that, like, yeah, I
That
could
mom
tell.
vibe, yeah, she is. She was a mom figure to a lot of females. Well, because when we get incarcerated, we don't have family, and
Yeah.
we cling to people like Miss Gwen or like my auntie did 15 years in CCA. My auntie Joylene, right? Miss Gwen. She used to be the hair tie. My auntie, her hustle was in there. She used to make hair ties. She was good too. Everybody, they used to be all, tell your auntie I need 2 hair ties. I need this. I need that. And I'd be all, auntie, they're wanting hair ties
Oh,
over
I got a
here,
few of
over
them here
there.
tonight too.
Some lady
I
was
got a
all, I
few of
have
them
a
here
bunch
tonight.
of your auntie's hair ties. I was like, because she would make at CCA. They had, like, I remember one time Mr. Lewis gave us material. We had Raiders material, Broncos, Cowboys, and we
Oh wow.
made some hair ties. And I sent some home to my daughters, and then I kept some. But the cops confiscate them at CCA. The cops would always confiscate them. It wouldn't even be worth it. I would always want to just have one. I would always just be working on my makeup collection. Just kidding. Okay, guys, tell the viewers a message or any advice or to a person who is transitioning back into society, either from county jail or prison, who thinks that they can't make it.
So for me, mine would be to keep your head up. One bad day on the outs isn't worth a year, however long you have over your head. The rough times, they happen when you get out. It was really hard for me to transition, and I basically begged my PO to send me back to prison But now, like, I work at a rehab. I'm able to help people in their
Oh,
recovery.
cool.
And it's just an amazing feeling because once you give up on yourself, that's it. And at the end of the day, all you're gonna have is yourself. So you need to love and respect yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, just remember your value and your worth.
Right. I'm all that's right. Nicole, I'm all you want to say anything?
With transitioning, when getting out, I would just say like either plug yourself into like a church or plug yourself into a counselor or even a friend that is sober, or like just find somebody that is going to be a support system that you could go to, and like whenever you're having a hard time, and just have like almost like a sponsor or something in a way, somebody that can, help bring you back in whenever you're having a hard day or having a hard time, or when you feel like going to commit a crime or go back to drugs. Like, I would just say that in a kind of like a sponsor type of way. Just plug yourself into something that's better than you, like more positive than you.
I'm all that's good. I'm all that's good. Both of you guys really touched my heart, Nicole. How you were telling me, about different stuff that I encourage you, and Katie about because I talk to a bunch of girls about fitness stuff all the time, and I'm always trying to stay positive for my classes because I would have morning aerobic classes in prison. Friend, I was aerobics instructor, and I would have like 25 girls like on steps and working out. And I when Katie tells me that, it makes me feel good, that I impacted a few people, because I feel like that's why God put us all here, to impact each
Yes.
other, so we learn something from one another, and that way we're able to help the next person, or that someone that's in need. I'm very grateful to all you guys that have joined. I'm hoping Nicole, my friend, is looking to become a counselor. Maybe Katie might have some resources for you, or maybe some connections, because she just went down that journey.
I heard. I was like,
She just
cool.
actually kept trying to go back and have her POs lock her up, and they said, nope, you better figure it out. So she figured it out, and now she's a counselor, friend.
That is awesome. That's something I want to do. That's something I was talking to Rhiannon before we got on the thing, but that's something I really want to do. I want to help people because I know I can.
I'll
If you
actually
want to
put you
go
guys in
to the global
contact.
campus for NMSU, they have a Bachelor in Science program. Of course, they have FAFSA, but in the state of New Mexico, the governor actually has what's called an opportunity scholarship. You still get FAFSA on top of that scholarship, but that scholarship covers your tuition in full. So the only thing you need your FAFSA for is like the books and the materials. And it's an amazing program.
How do you apply for the opportunity? You just
You should, if you apply for a college in the state of New Mexico, you need to talk to your financial advisor and let him know that you want the opportunity scholarship, because it's not one that they talk
yeah.
about a lot because it's brand
Okay.
new. But definitely ask for the opportunity scholarship. And if you're going into like nursing or anything like that, there's a separate grant. Like, I don't have student loans. All of my tuition was paid with the opportunity grant and
Wow.
FAFSA.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're
That's
already
good.
working, right?
Yeah.
I work right now as a
So how
residential
long did it
treatment
take
assistant
you?
at the rehab,
Yeah.
until I finish my schooling. Once I have 10 months clean and sober now. So once I hit that year mark, I can get a certification. And then in 3 years, I could be peer support. But by the time I'm peer support, I'll already have my degree in science, which means I can become a counselor for the company that I work for now.
Oh, okay.
That's so good.
There's a
That's
lot of
good to
girls in
know.
Albuquerque right now that was in there. Carissa McGee is one. She did this peer support. Get a hold of Stacy Burleson and she can help you too.
I'm gonna
Cause
look for some
Stacy
resources
wasn't
for you,
here.
I
friend,
know.
because
You guys should send me your like info.
I will. I'll send you Miss Gwen's and Katie's because we're all on a group thing. But I'll send
Okay.
you their information also. Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm so grateful to you for
Nice
being
meeting
on
you
the
guys.
podcast
You
tonight.
It's
too.
nice meeting you.
Friend, we
You
need to
too.
get together
Princess.
because yeah, Katie, you too. If you're ever coming in town, you know I'm here in Albuquerque, here in Los Lunas. I can meet you anywhere. Let me know. And Nichole, when I have my gathering, I want you to come. So I'll give you some
Just
information
let me
so
know.
that way you guys can come. I will. Thank you guys so much.
Princess,
Yes.
if you can get a hold of Renee, I remember last podcast she was talking about the sober living houses she opened. The case manager for the company I work for is actually looking for sober living houses for women because we
Okay.
don't have that many here. So if you can get a hold of Renee and have her get a hold of me, there's a connection right there between my work and her business.
Okay. Okay, I will. I'll definitely do that. I'll do that once I get off, okay?
And just message me on Messenger and just let me know.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Miss Gwen. Thank you, Nichole. Nichole, we need to get together to talk about school, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you guys.
Bye,
It's nice meeting
everybody.
you too.
You
Bye,
too.
Y'all have
guys.
a good night.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too.